Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing I want to say is this video honestly pains me greatly because I'm a huge fan of Jokic. I actually lived in Denver for a little bit, and so I like seeing Denver do well, and I like seeing Jokic, one of the best minds in the game, best passers in the game, succeed. However, that being said, if the current trajectory keeps up, I think this might be Jokic's worst year, maybe since his rookie year. I think he might have very poor stats. I think Denver's going to struggle a lot, and I'm going to break down why in these clips. Let's go. So at the time of recording, this is the most recent game that Denver's played. This is against the Clippers. I believe this is their second game of the year. We're watching Jokic in particular, but really what we're watching is we're watching the players that are outside of Jokic. So the first thing that we're looking at is how the Clippers are guarding everyone else. Okay, so we got Braun in the game, we got Gordon in the game, we got Porter in the game. The big issue is frankly going to be this defender. Maybe you could argue this defender as well. The players guarding Braun and Gordon essentially don't really need to guard them outside the three-point line. They've shot it, frankly, a little bit more, but they haven't shot it enough to command respect. In this clip, this is the NBA we're talking about, we can see 4 players, almost 5 players, with a foot in the paint and or guarding the ball. This is extremely problematic for Jokic, and I'll include Murray in that as well, because the way Jokic thrives is having space to operate. As this ball gets kicked out, yeah, Porter's open, but unless it's a good pass, that's difficult to catch with a good closeout, especially with the length closing out as well. Okay? So all of this makes it so much harder for Jokic to essentially find openings, which is what he does. And then this is something that I talked about in how the Lakers guarded Jokic, and actually why the Timberwolves beat the Nuggets, I think, is a big part because of this, is post players haven't been guarding Jokic on the perimeter very much. And the reason they haven't is because Jokic's first thought isn't to shoot always, it's to pass. And so they kind of play off him and make him regather before he shoots it. And so while this might lead to Jokic shooting more threes, it makes it so the defense collapses a little bit and makes it so it stagnates Denver's offense, which prevents the pass, which is what Jokic really thrives on. For our second clip, we're watching the exact same concept. We're watching Jokic when he catches this ball after it gets moved around a little bit. And we're going to see a ball screen, and Murray is going to throw it back to Jokic. We are watching in particular how this defender is guarding Jokic. As the ball gets passed, what is his first thought? His first thought is not to aggressively go close out. No, it's to stay back. And while that we're at it, what the hell is James Harden doing? He's guarding Aaron Gordon. He has to glance back to see where Gordon is because he's literally not paying attention to him, and instead he's helping over for Jokic. Jokic's first thought is not to shoot that ball. Instead, it's to move the ball to an area where he can run a ball screen or dribble handoff, something where he can pass it, and Jamal Murray cuts, and that's a good cut, frankly. And if this defender was anywhere near Jokic, this would be, frankly, a good opportunity. However, the issue is his defender simply leaves, steps in the middle, and you also have James Harden who's just stepping over as well, guarding nobody essentially. And that makes it so Denver is unable to get a clean look. What should have been a layup at the rim, frankly, still should have been made. It just highlighted the traffic that Murray and Jokic have to face every time they get even remotely near the paint. Again, we're watching. Okay, so we have the ball screen occupied. We have these 2 defenders. First off, Zubac is hanging out. We're watching these 3 defenders. So now we have even a different player, not even Michael Porter Jr., a less shooter. Strother is not shooting the ball as well as Michael Porter Jr. And so as Jamal gets to this paint, 1 player, 2 players, 3rd player potentially ready. Obviously Jamal's not going to have a good look because of that. The ball gets kicked out, and Jokic's first thought is, yeah, he pump fakes, but he's not going to shoot that ball. His first thought is to find openings for the drive or someone else, and that simply doesn't work anymore because there's players already in the paint because you have non-shooters surrounding the floor. Okay, so he gets into the inside. Jamal Murray is the one that's open. However, unless the pass is going to be perfect, the Clippers are just going to close out aggressively, make you take 2 dribbles in, and because they don't need to guard this player, or this player, they have plenty of other players that can step up immediately, and literally you have essentially 5 players guarding Murray and guarding Jokic combined and just rotate between the two of them and force it into an end result of a pull-up instead of what could have been a drive, could have been a potential dunk, could have been a lot of different things. And essentially, they're just putting all these bodies in the paint because they don't need to guard anyone else outside of the paint. And it forces difficult shots for essentially the marquee players of Denver. However, this isn't even the real issue. The real issue that I think shows just a fundamental misunderstanding is when you have lineups like this in for Denver. Right now we have Westbrook can't shoot, Braun can't shoot, Gordon can't shoot, and Strother maybe loosely can shoot. Okay, so you have literally taken out your two best shooters in Porter and Murray, and you're expecting somehow the offense to still be efficient? Are you kidding me? Who is he guarding? Who is he guarding? Who is he guarding? You could say loosely, seven's connected. Okay, nice. You're telling me that Jokic is supposed to provide some kind of offensive value like that when they have to pass it back and forth between Westbrook? There is literally no option for Jokic to do anything to remotely create a good shot except for a fadeaway. and and he has to like one player literally takes himself out of the play here. Eight's gonna gamble in a second. And as eight gambles, Jokic makes the exact right read. So eight gambles here and takes himself out of the play, and Jokic makes the right read. Westbrook is open momentarily. However, no one has to guard Aaron Gordon, so the next player simply rotates over and blocks the shot. It doesn't make any sense from an offensive perspective, and it's just going to lead to no good looks for Denver's offense because they have so many people that can't shoot surrounding Jokic. And the reality is, Denver's still a good team. Jokic is so good. Jamal Murray is still so good. Porter shoots the ball so well. They're going to win some games. They're going to win against lesser competition. The issue is, if they don't address this before the trade deadline, they are going to really, really struggle against good competition, and they're not going to get very far in the playoffs. As Jokic has this ball, what do we have? Foot in the paint, foot in the paint, foot in the paint, foot in the paint. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Watson can't shoot either, if I haven't mentioned him yet. None of them shoot the ball, and so Jokic has to play just this ridiculous game where he can't get anything resembling a good look. They can't get any rebounds. They can't get any open threes. They can't get anything that is what Jokic has succeeded in these last couple of years. He dominated. And so why this year, like, I really think Jokic is going to struggle because they have no spacing. They have no ability for him to find those great assists that he always does. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. Most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.